Hi, brothers and sisters. Thank you for your patience last week with me. It turned out to be such a crazy week for me. We are moving. We sold our home, but we are building a new home and it's not quite finished. But just because of when our house sold, we were in a weird transition mode. So I'm actually living in my mother-in-law's basement apartment, which is a huge blessing that she has for us. But I mean, definitely smaller than our house, so we had to figure out where everybody fits and where everything is. So that's why it looks a little different in the background. We'll be here for a few weeks until our new home is done. So thank you for your patience with me. I think I'm all caught up. If you see any problems from anything last week, please let me know. I just wanted to remind you and talk to you about two things today. First of all, your listening and speaking logs. I know we're getting near the end of the semester and you've done this now for 12 weeks, but some of you are starting to just do the same things over and over again and just writing a few words in the what you learned category. You need to push yourself. Choose new activities, choose a variety of activities, and give me a good description on what you learned. It can be one sentence or more, but it needs to be more than just a few words, okay? And I wanted to talk to you about this week's application activity. This week's application activity is related to a family relationship. Now, these can sometimes be difficult. Believe me, I've been there. I know what it's like sometimes to have a family relationship that isn't where you want it to be, and it can be really hard. When you are writing this, if you have something really personal that you don't want to share with me, but you want to make a goal about, just be a little more vague in your descriptions. You don't have to tell me all the details if you don't feel comfortable or want to. But I just want you to notice, this says, for the purposes of this activity, select beginning steps from your SMART goals that you will accomplish during the next week. So no family relationship is going to be perfect in a week, okay? But this is something you're focusing on for just this week, okay? So for example, what specific changes would you like to make? What do you hope will be the outcome of this change? What specific steps will you take to bring about this change? So for example, maybe you and your spouse argue a lot. Maybe you fight over every little thing and you want that to change. You want to focus on your relationship and focus on loving each other and not arguing all the time. Okay, that is not going to change in a week. It's not miraculously going to be better. So think, what can I do in 1 week? So you might say, what specific changes would I like to make? This week I would like to count to 5 anytime I want to argue with my husband before saying what I want to say. Okay, that gives you 5 seconds to pause and reflect. What do you hope will be the outcome of this change? My outcome, I'm hoping, is that I will be more patient and more calm when choosing my responses. Okay, come here, bud. Crosby wants to come join. And the last thing, what specific steps will you take to bring about this change? Maybe I'm going to write the number 5 on my hand. Sorry, there's a pause there. I had to help Crosby. But again, what specific steps will you take to bring about this change? If you want to practice counting and calming down before you respond, maybe you're going to write the number 5 on your hand, just really small, just so you can see it, and be reminded to, if he says something or you say something that you know you want to argue about, or you feel, maybe not want to, but you feel tempted to argue about, look at your number 5, count to 5, and then respond what you want to say. Okay? I just came up with that on the whim. I haven't thought through all the other steps of my goal yet. When you do this, you want to make sure you are thinking through each step of your goal before you write it. What's the big picture for your goal you want to solve, and what can you do this week to get focused on that goal? So I hope that helps. And if you have any questions or concerns, please let me know. Have a great weekend.